Welcome to the COMC Community Spotlight Show. Of course, it's presented by the great folks at Central Ozarks Medical Center, where your health is their mission. And we have got a legend with us on the show today. It's Kirby Liesmann from Kirby School of Wake. You don't look as old as you are. I'm guessing, I mean, you got to be in your 30s, right?
Yeah, 36 this year.
36.
Oh,
and
man.
We've got video of you here on Lake TV, I think probably when you were in your teens. And you were doing Kirby School of Wake then.
Yep.
I think, right?
Yeah.
When did you start this?
So started doing lessons in 2008.
2008.
Just kind of, working at a local board shop, and whoever would come in and be like, oh, you got to know what you're doing.
Right.
You teach my kids. Like, sure, I'll pop out there. But I officially incorporated Kirby School of Wake in 2010.
Wow.
And I was a student at State Fair Community College, and John McMahon and some of the other professors there were like, you seem like you could have an actual business. Let's get this thing up and running. And yeah, it's been history ever since. Yeah.
And you're kind of famous now in water sports, in wakeboarding, in what you do. Pretty much everybody knows who you are. That's got to feel kind of weird, right?
Yeah, I guess when you have a unique name like Kirby, you stand out. And we try to make a difference everywhere we go and make everyone feel special. And, we've been doing it a long time. So that's been working in our favor.
Professional wakeboarder.
Yes, sir.
What does that mean? What do you do as a professional wakeboarder?
I guess in the technical terms is being able to be paid for whatever it is, your profession or your sport is. And had some times where I had some sponsors that, would financially support me. But the lessons was really what kind of kept me going through all these years of being able to be on the water, afford, the boats we need to use to train and go to the competitions. And so, the coaching's been a cool way to supplement, what it takes to be able to try to make it to the top tier of the professional circuit.
It seems like that sport has kind of exploded since the time you started in 2008, 9, 10. Since then, that sport's kind of gone from a little thing on the side to it's a big industry now.
Yeah, it really is ultimately a young sport. I mean, wakeboarding kind of came on the scenes, early 90s, it got popular, and then it went through some waves where it was really catching some momentum on being on the X Games in the, mid 2000s. And now, wake surfing is getting a lot more popular. So it's taken a little bit of the limelight away from wakeboarding, but I feel like it's growing and people are kind of excited to get, on the water and do both wakeboarding, wake surfing. Wake foiling now is a thing. So it's just like anything we got where people are interested in being out on the water and being active is always a good thing.
When was the first time you ever did it?
Oh, man, 1996.
1996.
Yep, Fort Leonard Wood Cove. Remember picking up a board from some, local rental shop, and it was way too big for me. We were doing everything wrong, but still was able to make it happen.
And you loved it. From second one.
First pull up, I got up. And it's been history ever since.
Wow.
Yep.
It's amazing because you hear so many people out there talking about, well, I never know what I wanted to do, went to college trying to figure out what I wanted to do and whatnot. You knew what you wanted to do when you were like 7.
I did.
Right?
Yeah, I think I wrote in my 8th grade yearbook, professional wakeboarder. I knew it.
Wow.
Laser focused. But, just like anything, you get going down that career path of looking, for a way to make a living just wakeboarding. And it was looking like it was going to be a stretch to be able to just make money, just keep traveling and competing.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where the coaching came into play. And then, still getting my college degree gave me a little business sense to be able to kind of,
make it work.
Yeah. Exactly.
So what was the genesis of the school? Where did that come from? Where did it first start? I mean, you want to be a wakeboarder. I'm sure that the thought of teaching it didn't come along until a little bit later. Where did that idea come from?
Just many, many years and hours on the boat with other coaches.
Okay.
Getting my own instruction, trying to, up my game for getting ready for competitions, observing other coaching styles, and then kind of blending into my own. And then I would kind of go on the boat while these, clinics would be happening. I'd kind of, just learn how to coach. And once I got to a point where people would see me as the expert.
Right.
I just kind of fell into that role. We're like, well, you're our guy. We want you to teach us how to do what you do. And it's just kind of been going ever since.
What's your coaching philosophy? I mean, there's, you see the football coaches, they're like, stuff like that. Do you do that as a coach on the water, or how do you do that?
It depends.
Okay.
Yeah, I have different types of coaching approaches I take depending on the student. If it's someone just coming out to learn for the first time, it's very, you got this, let's have fun.
A lot of
very
encouragement.
a ton of encouragement. A lot of drills that lead to further successes, making sure things are set up correctly with the boat and, going through the right steps to learn, tricks in the right order so that it's done safely. But then, I get these students that come through my program where they get to where they're working on more difficult maneuvers, and then it comes into more of that like mentorship role where you got to really, take your time and push them in the right direction and kind of guide them into like, the right mindset they need to be and do whatever trick it is they're going to do. And
you have to be hard on them sometimes.
Occasionally. Ooh. Yeah, exactly. Tough love.
You don't seem to be able to have that in you, man.
It's something that comes out just when they give me, the place in their life to be able to speak into their life.
Yeah.
And sometimes, the hard conversation isn't about wakeboarding. It could be about other areas of life that I know that's going to help, my students achieve better things in life in general, but also in their wakeboarding.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's like you'll take it from just on the water to all of life. What are some of those things?
It's about hard work, determination.
Yeah.
Pushing through when no one else wants to, or it's, not ideal to have to get up early to get calm water, or, hit the time in the gym, and, being able to make sure that we're holding these students that we have at that higher level accountable for their actions on and off the water. And, that's where my heart for that next level of rider who's going to come in and fill the role for me someday.
Yeah.
It really matters.
All right. Yeah. Kirby Liesmann, Kirby School of Wake, a legend in wakeboarding, water sports. We'll have more with Kirby when we come back on the COMC Community Spotlight Show. At COMC, your health is our mission. Central Ozarks Medical Center offers 3 OBGYNs at the Osage Beach Clinic and 2 pediatricians with same-day appointments available. At COMC, our doors are open to everyone with 5 primary care locations conveniently located across the Ozarks. COMC for the best medical, dental, and behavioral health care. Get more info on how COMC can help you at centralozarks.org. COMC, where your health is our mission. If you love the lake, you gotta love Lake TV. Welcome back to the COMC Community Spotlight Show. We're talking water sports, wakeboarding. Kirby Liesmann, Kirby School of Wake. So you're a teacher, you're School of Wake. What gives you the most joy as a teacher? What's the best part of that?
Really it's when I get these students that I have or customers that come to me and they're just a blank slate. We're just getting started with this. We have no, previous knowledge. We want you to guide us through every step. And then I feel like I can really impart my knowledge and, the things that I've had to kind of work through maybe in the School of Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
And then to see the fulfillment, they're like, wow, we had no idea that this could be this much fun or this easy. And it just sets them up for success for their whole water sports journey.
Huh. You hear runners talking about a runner's high.
Yeah.
The joggers get out there and they say, oh, you don't get the high until a mile in. I'm like, I'd be a mile dead. But is there something on the water like that? There's a sweet spot that kind of makes it all worth it?
Absolutely. So as an adrenaline junkie wakeboarder, it's always like the quest for the next hardest trick or the new variation. As soon as you accomplish it, you want to see the video. How's it look? Post it on your social, and share the excitement with people. But the surfing is more about that winding down, that flow you get into that makes you feel like you're in the ocean, and it's just a unique sensation that you can't really get anywhere else except for maybe in the ocean surfing. Yeah. And you don't have to drink a gallon of salt water to do it. Being able to surf on the inland lakes here.
Some of us have done that.
Oh, yeah. So.
And it's funny because in every sport, there are those things that keep you coming back. In golf, teeing off, you get that solid feel, or baseball or softball, getting that solid hit or something. And wakeboarding, water sports, you have that same thing.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's just like any sport. You're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days. But anytime I have like an off day on the water, for whatever reason, I always try to find that one trick that was just like, that one felt good. I'm just going to focus on that.
Right.
And it leads me into the next session and, chances are you're gonna.
And you do more than teaching,
Yeah.
Kirby School of Wake. So you teach students how to do what you do, but you're also a competitor.
Yes.
What are your favorite competitions? Where do you love to compete?
You know, I mean, there's anywhere here in, the U.S., like they tend to put the competitions in areas that draw the biggest crowd, obviously. But usually they want like the best environment, the best conditions. So like competing in Tennessee was really amazing. There's always nice tournaments in Florida on these little private lakes. But when I get to go to the Wakeboard World Championships, they usually take us to these really incredible destinations. Like in 2023, I got to go to Portugal, and then last year I was in Australia.
Wow.
So pretty neat, where Wake will take you, on the competitive circuit. And I've been able to be blessed to go to a lot of different really unique bodies of water and do what we do.
How cool is that? Did you grow up here in Missouri at the Lake of the Ozarks, or where did you grow up?
I grew up coming to Lake of the Ozarks. I was a very young kid, probably since I was a baby.
Yeah.
But we live, it's closer to St. Louis, a little town called New Haven.
Okay.
Which as I got older, we needed a wakeboard as much as we could. So we'd put a boat in the Missouri River, and it was not the most ideal, but we did it.
Yeah. Try to dodge the logs and
Every day.
all that other stuff. Yeah. No wonder you're so good at it.
Well, it didn't always work out.
Does wakeboarding teach you life lessons? I mean, different sports, golf, they say, you learn so many life lessons in golf or football.
Yeah.
How about water sports? Do you learn life lessons in water sports?
Absolutely.
Like what?
Patience.
Patience.
Yes,
Don't
patience.
you hate that one?
It's like, it looks like when you watch wakeboarding, from an outsider's perspective, it looks like all this stuff is happening so fast and so intense, but it's really the patience of having the right technique, the right fundamentals, letting the wake do the work to help you through the rotations, and it's not everyone's first intuition to do it that way.
Yeah.
So having a coach, someone that can be a guide, to help riders through those tough phases is kind of an important part of the process.
Interesting. Okay. Who would be interested in your lessons at Kirby School of Wake? What kind of people come to you and say, can you teach me to do this or that or the next thing?
Sure. Yeah, we, take people out at any ability level, whether it's their first time ever being up on any type of water ski, wakeboard, or surfboard, all the way up to someone who's already maybe learned a few tricks on their own, maybe from, school of YouTube and just want to fine tune things. And, no matter what level of, ability that our students come to us, we always have something we can add and make things easier and more enjoyable for them.
Okay. So really it's anybody who wants to learn these water sports, right? At any age? Is there anybody aging out? Like, grandma, can grandma do it?
Grandma can do it. So we've had as young as 4, as old as 84.
What?
Yeah, so it's crazy. Like in Fort Myers, we have quite the clientele base of people who are up there in age that, they're doing their winters down in Florida and want to come out and surf with me.
How about that?
Right?
Wow, that's
It can be for
amazing.
anyone.
Probably good for them though, right?
Yeah, staying active. Wake surfing is very low impact. I mean, if you can, jump into a pool, you can surf. And
Right.
we keep it safe on every aspect in the process. So
You've got a young family.
We do.
This keeps you busy traveling all over. How do you balance all of that? Is that hard?
It is. It's a lot of strategic planning.
Right.
Getting down to Florida in the winter, getting set up, which we have a great family community, a church home there that really pours into us when we're in Florida in the winter. And then, just, knowing exactly what we need to get back here and be ready for summer and get things kicked off, obviously in May for Memorial Day is always the big send off. So it's a lot of planning, a lot of, off season, a lot of phone calls, a lot of emails, making sure everything's lined up for the upcoming season and vice versa going back. So
Well, and just getting you here today for this show, you were just doing lessons in California, and I was talking to your wife, well, he's doing this today, he'll be back here tomorrow, and then he'll be there then. So you do really have to be strategic about it all, don't you?
we do. Yeah. And thankfully my wife is very helpful. She helps me run a lot of the administrative stuff on the back end of the business, and I'm very grateful for that. She keeps me in check. keeps me in
So
line.
important.
It is. Yeah, couldn't
Is
do
she a
without her.
wakeboarder too? Does she love it?
Occasionally she does.
Okay.
But my daughter's getting into it, which is like, oh my goodness. It is the greatest joy I've ever experienced is passing on my passion to our daughter.
Yeah.
Was the most nervous I've ever been on a lesson.
That's going to be special.
'Cause I knew if I messed that up.
We've got to have him back. We've got more to talk about.
good
Kirby
stuff.
Liesmann, Kirby School of Wake. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you for joining us for the COMC Community Spotlight Show.